I'm Manny.
And I'm Mo.
And we're here to show you 8 bodyweight exercises you have to do to get better at running.
Let's get started.
Let's go. Okay, now getting better at running means we run a bit faster. And to run faster, we need to utilize our hip muscles. And this is going to be the first area we work on with these bodyweight exercises. So we're going to use something called the adductor bridge. The adductors are the muscles on the inside of our thighs. They're really crucial at supporting our hamstrings, which help with our knee swing. And in this exercise, you will also use your gluteal muscles, hopefully. So we'll go through it. Mo and I are going to show you this first bodyweight exercise. So Mo, if you want to lie on your right hand side, you're going to bring your left knee onto the top of this chair and this towel. And that's what you'll need at home to do this exercise. So if you can rest that knee onto this chair for me, Mo. The towel just allows for a softer surface. And Mo is in now a great position. He's got his forearm on the floor. He's about to push up. Lifting nice. Well done, Mo. How does that feel?
Feels good.
And if you can lift this bottom leg. If that's too difficult, keep your leg on the ground, okay? And then if you go back to the ground, Mo, well done. So Mo held that position for a period of time. Don't worry if you can't, you can just do some repetitions. So Mo's gonna show you some repetitions. With this exercise, I think 4 to 12 repetitions, especially if you're brand new at this, is really important. You can do this for 1 round on the days that you're training hard, so you can keep your easy days as easy as possible and your rest days as relaxed as possible. So next up in our bodyweight exercise series is the posterior lunge, okay? Obviously Mo again is gonna show us how it's done. This will work, again, those hip muscles, and it works everything in a sequence, and you come into a standing balance position, okay? And this is gonna be crucial for running because we want to be balanced, we want to use those hip muscles, and we want to drive up in the movement. So Mo, what I want you to do is stand at the front of this mat for me. Perfect. Okay, Mo. So we're going to do this with your right leg staying in front of you, left leg comes back, okay? So what I want you to do, Mo, is you're going to step back with that left leg and come into a posterior lunge, and your left knee is going to touch the ground. How does that feel?
Yeah, feels good.
Perfect. So one thing I want to change with Mo is actually I want Mo to sit back a bit further. So his knee is at 90-degree angle and above his foot. Now I'm going to ask Mo to drive with that right leg and come back up into a standing position. Good stuff, Mo. So this is our first level. This means that we're going to just have our feet parallel once we come back to the starting position. Mo, the next one I want you to do, so this is level number 2, you're gonna take that left leg back and then you're gonna come back up into a standing position and a running pose. Cool. Can you try that for me?
Back.
Good, hold that position, hold that position. Okay, so what I would do here with Mo is I'd actually add weights to his hands to make it a little bit more challenging. If we wanted to increase the difficulty again, is making sure he does 12 to 15 repetitions, okay? Next up, we have the single leg hop. Running is hopping a lot from one leg to another, and that's why single leg hop is such an important bodyweight exercise. So Mo, I'm not gonna coach you, I'm just gonna ask you to single leg hop. So show me what you're gonna do. Brilliant. Okay, so there are a few things that we need to think about here with Mo. If you turn and face me, Mo, and I want you to stand on that left leg only, just like you did. Perfect. Okay, so when you stand on your left leg, try not to lean forward as you bend your knee. So bend that knee. Good. So what I'm looking at here is Mo's body position. His shoulders are now in line with his hips, where previously he'd stand on that left leg and be too far forward. So if you go back to that vertical position, excellent, Mo. When we're hopping, we're looking at that vertical jump. So Mo, what I want you to do is I want you to jump as high as you can. Good, excellent. Do you want to show the camera front on? Exactly the same movement. Hold the position for 7 seconds for me. With this exercise, I'd say 5 to 7 repetitions, a little bit less in terms of how many we do, and you probably don't need to do more than 2 rounds. And when you do the 2 rounds, making sure you have 3 minutes at least recovery between them.
What's next, coach?
So what we're going to do next, we're going back to our hips. We're going to do a side bridge with a hinge, okay? So what this means is we're going to try and utilize our glute medius. Our glute medius is a muscle on the outside of our leg. As soon as we land, this muscle tries to stabilize our hips. So sometimes have you heard of people kind of having the hip hinge and hip drop?
Yep.
So we're trying to work on the muscles that support that hip drop and stop that from happening. So Mo's gonna lie on the mat. So again, you're gonna need a mat at home. He's gonna be lying on his right-hand side. He bends both his knees, okay, and brings his hips forward. Very similar to our first exercise, the adductor bridge. Now, we're going to lift our hips off the ground. So this is level 1. Some nice, simple, slow repetitions. You can hold at the top for 1 to 2 seconds and back down. So with this level 1, if you really need strength work, listen, 4 to 6 repetitions is great. If you can do 1 to 3 rounds, brilliant. If you can do 1 round, excellent. Now, we can progress this. So what we're going to do, Mo is going to take this top leg and he's just going to extend his leg. And what that does is it adds an extra lever here. If Mo lifts up, he can leave this top leg on the ground or he can lift this top leg off the ground. How does that feel, Mo?
It's a lot harder. It's a bit more resistance.
So with this exercise, you do it on both sides, okay? Make sure not to neglect one side, Mo.
Of course. Yeah, no, of course. Both sides. You can't have, you know, odd-looking body.
Mo, you know what? Bodyweight exercises would not be complete without working our calf muscles.
Of course.
Hey, there he goes flexing.
Of course. I know.
Our calf muscles are so crucial. They can actually produce almost 6 times our body weight of force vertically. Did you know that, Mo?
I did not know that.
There you go. There's a stat. There's a stat for you all at home. So Mo, if you want to stand in front of this chair for me, all you need is your body weight and a chair. That's it. And Mo's going to go up onto his toes. And what I want you to do, Mo, is make sure those knees are nice and straight. Perfect. Keep looking forward for me. How does that feel?
I feel like I'm channeling my inner Michael Jackson.
Love that. Mo's doing really well with both legs. Let's try single leg. So try single leg for me, Mo. Good. Keep those knees nice and straight. So if you're new to this exercise, try bilateral, so both legs. Give at least 15 repetitions. That's how many we need to go through with this exercise, okay? It's super crucial to get something called strength endurance. Our calf muscles take a long time to overload, okay? And they're quite robust muscles. So if you're doing double leg, at least 15. If you're doing single leg after a hard workout, remember all of these bodyweight exercises are after a hard workout. Single leg, you could start at 12 and then slowly building yourself up. Okay, it's time to give Mo's calf muscles a rest, all right, Mo? We're going back to the hip muscles, back to those force-producing areas, okay? So Mo, we're gonna go for a feet elevated bridge. What I want you to do, again, you're gonna have a lie down, this time on your back with your feet on this chair. So at home, just grab that chair. Both feet are gonna be on the chair. So the key thing with this exercise is not to use your arms, Mo. Cool. I can see your arms already prepared to push through. Remember, you're pushing through your feet, okay? So this hip bridge is all about the posterior chain, which is this area at the back of your body. So Mo, put your arms across your chest and nice and gently, what I want you to do is you're going to lift your hips off the ground, head flat on the floor. When you're doing this, just make sure you're nice and controlled, just like Mo. And it's all about 6 to 12 repetitions. Slowly build up over time. The first time you do it, you might really feel your hamstrings, but just make sure you squeeze at the top with those glute muscles.
How do I make this any harder, coach?
You can do single legs. And the key thing here is just making sure you squeeze that top position, you feel it in your gluteal muscles. If you're doing single leg, again, you want to work up to that 6 repetition mark and build up to 12. You can do this 1 round and build up to those 2-3 rounds. Give yourself 2-minute breaks between the rounds. Really allow for that recovery. And do this on your hard days so you can keep your easy days easy and you can recover and rest on your recovery days. Next up, we have the single leg sit back. So, Mo, I think you have done this before. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stand in front of the chair, Mo, for me. Brilliant. Okay. So, Mo, you're gonna stand on one leg, whichever leg you wish. This time, you can bring your foot slightly into the center to give you a bit better balance. Mo, can you take a seat on that chair for me? And what I want you to do, Mo, is you're going to stand up, but don't just use momentum and really try and transfer yourself into that standing position. I want you to squeeze and push down through the ground, okay? Squeeze those thigh muscles and stand up.
Wow, wait, that was not, yeah.
Okay,
cool.
So that was the first rep.
Whew.
We're gonna get better. We're gonna try that again, slowly sitting down, Mo. If you find that difficult, we do have an option for you. If you don't find that difficult, I want you to try and do 8 to 12 repetitions after a hard day's workout, just to work on that strength and endurance. So Mo, next up, the next variation I'd like you to try is your left foot just lightly touching the ground, and you do exactly the same thing.
Back down onto the chair.
So you're sitting down onto the chair, your left foot lightly touching the ground. So the more force you can push through that front leg, the right leg, the better. This exercise, I'm pretty sure you've done.
I've done
so
before.
yeah,
That's why I'm ready.
It's going to be a single leg toe touch or a single leg RDL, Romanian deadlift. So Mo, if you want to take a place on the mat for me. Okay, if you step forward slightly, brilliant. So Mo's going to do this single leg toe touch or RDL on his right leg. He moved his foot into the middle, into the center to give him a little bit more stability. And now he's slowly going to take his body down towards the ground, touching his toes. Okay, so what I want Mo to do here is bend his knees slightly, bend that right knee slightly, brilliant. And with your left arm, you can bring it out to give you a bit more balance and stability. And if you come back to that starting position you were in, Mo has really elongated and made those reps nice and long. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you, if you're new to this, how you can make this as easy as possible just so you can get started. So exactly the same thing, Mo. You can bend that left knee for me. So have a slight bend in your left knee, slight bend in your right knee. So this is really nice. If you're a beginner to this, you're just looking for that length through your right hamstring. Can you feel your right hamstring stretch?
Right hamstring is stretching, feel the stretch, and come right back up.
And next level, next step before you go to that really advanced practice that Mo did at the beginning is you're going to take that left leg up with you, Mo, but keeping the left knee bent for me. So this can be your option number 2. And then back to our really advanced option, Mo. Last one. Long lever makes it harder. And that was the single leg toe touch or the single leg Romanian deadlift. Well done, Mo.
Thank you very much.
Now that was 8 bodyweight exercises you have to do to get better at running. Mo, what were the key takeaways that you got, do you think?
So I feel like 1, the channel output, so making sure you focus on the muscle that you're using to get a better mind-muscle connection.
I like that, yeah.
Secondly, you want to train on your hard days, not on your easy days, to make the hard days harder and the easy days even easier.
There we go.
And thirdly, take a nice prolonged rest in between because we are focusing on channeling the power in between the workouts.
Love that. So make sure you give these a go. These 8 bodyweight exercises will make you better at running. I'm Manny, this has been Mo. Click like, subscribe so you can enjoy more videos here at the Running Channel. Big love, peace.